Okay, so I want to show you how to do something pretty fundamental to doing any kind of analysis, whether it be in the realm which I normally work in, which is bioinformatics, or any other realm which you're doing data analysis. You want to output something and save it as a file. So maybe it's the results of your analysis, or it's some data mining that you've done, and you want to just subset it and save it. Uh, a lot of times you want to save that as a text file. So I'm going to show you how to use Python to end a loop, as a matter of fact, to save something as a text file. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to timestamp each file that we save so that we don't end up overwriting files. So that way we have a new file name every time, regardless of whether we change the actual file name that we choose for the analysis. So we're going to want to import the time module, and we're going to say import time as TM. And that's the only library that we're going to need to import for this particular operation, because the needed module to write a text file is part of core Python. So you don't need to import anything to actually write a text file. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to set a working directory. So when you set the working directory in Python, you want to always use forward slashes, but just set the directory to wherever you want it. I've created a directory which I call junk, which I send basically to stuff that I'm just playing with, whenever I'm debugging a script. So I'm going to send this to my junk file and junk folder, and I'm going to create the timestamp. And so the timestamp is going to be called timestamp, and we're going to use the time module. So we've named that, we're going to use it as TM. So we're going to say tm.time equals the timestamp. And then we're going to have a file name. So in this case, we're going to have the file name as example file, and then it's going to have the timestamp, and then it's going to say .txt. Now I'm going to make one little change here. I'm going to add a underscore here just to separate the timestamp from the example file. So that's going to be the name. And so anytime that we output it, or we run this code twice, one after another, it's still going to have a different file name. So it's going to write a new file. And then the file that we're going to save is ultimately going to be the working directory up here, plus the file name right here. So that's telling us exactly where the file is, what the file is, where it's going to be saved. So now we're going to need to open the file. So we're going to need to open a brand new file, and we're either going to write to it or we're going to add to it. So this is write and amend. So whenever you amend to a file, you don't erase the previous input, you just add to it. So but when you write to it, you overwrite everything in the file. So we use the W to write rather than the A. Then every time we run this code, it would rewrite whatever's in it. If we use the A, the amend the file, then we're going to add to it. So anything that's already in there doesn't get deleted. So we're going to use the A in this case. And we're going to set up a loop here just to demonstrate how you can continually write to this file using a loop, because it's most likely you're going to be doing some sort of analysis, and you're going to want to write, every time you go through the file. I do a lot of stuff with DNA sequences and protein sequences, so a lot of times we're looking at different things with those, looking for different frequencies of amino acids or GC content or whatever. So we got to go through the string multiple times. So you may be looking at something totally different, but most likely you're going to use a loop to do this. So in this case, we're going to use a for loop, and we're going to go for A. So A is going to be our variable in range of 10. So we're going to go through it 10 times. And we're going to say F, just stands for file, equals open the file and amend to it. So we're going to amend the file. So we're going to open the file, and then we're going to amend to it. And file is whatever working directory and file name we've given it up here. And then we're going to do the file write, and we're going to say loop, and then we're going to output the what iteration of the loop that we're in, plus 1 in this case, because it actually starts at 0. So we actually want it to show 1 through 10. And then we're going to give a new line after that. So the file should actually say loop 1, loop 2, loop 3, loop 4, all the way through loop 10. And once we get all that done, we've gone through the loop 10 times, we're going to close the file. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this code. And you run code in Python by hitting Control and then Enter, and that runs the code. And then we're going to go to that junk file. And we see in this junk file, the one that we just made was on 5/18 or at 5:18 p.m. So that's this one right here. So let's open this text file. And you see that it says loop 1 through loop 10. Now then, let's run the code again and see what happens. Let's see if that timestamp actually works. So we just put the cursor anywhere in the code, Control Enter, and we go back to the junk file. And now we see we have another text document there, also at 5:18 p.m. Let's see if it says the same thing. Yep, loop 1 through 10. So now let's test this amend clause here. Let's get rid of the timestamp so that it's actually the same file name. And we're going to run it twice then. So I'm going to copy this here, and I'm going to add it, and I'm going to get rid of the timestamp. So we're just going to have the same file name. So it'll be example file _.txt. And we got to shut off this this one with the timestamp. So we're going to put the pound symbol right there before it. And now we're going to run this code twice. So we're going to run it once, and we'll see, we'll go back here to our junk file, and you can see you got the example file _. Now then, remember, we got it amend. We got it set to amend. And so now we're going to run it again. We're going to see, let's open up the file just to show you that it's just in there one time right now. So loop 1 through 10. Okay, now we're going to close that file. We're going to go back here. We're going to rerun the code. And then we're going to go back and we're going to open that file again, the same file. And now what do you see? You see you got it in there twice, loop 1 through 10, loop 1 through 10. So that's how you write a text file in Python. And you use a for loop to write successive lines in that file. Now, one thing I will tell you, just as far as making it easy for you to know how to add separate lines, you need to add this \n in there, and that's the new line character. So that'll give you your new line. Hope this helps you out. I hope it gets you a little further down the line. If you like this, please like the video if it helped you out. Please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it, and have a good day.